Hello everybody. Well, today's lesson's definitely for the children, but before I start I'll just say, adults, if you go back and have a look at the lesson on painting a tulip, if you really take care with that lesson, by the end of it you will have learned how to use watercolour properly. So it's worth having another go at that, I think, although it was a longer lesson. But today is all about having fun. Some of you will be able to get into the garden or onto a patio or even a backyard. So you might be able to get out of the door to have a look at some of the texture and patterns that we have all around us. If you go outside, then it's up to you to find all these wonderful patterns. I found different things as I walked around the garden and walked onto the patio outside of here. Just outside of the window that you can see, I've got a table, and that's the centre of the table that I'm going to show you how to do with a crayon rubbing. That's some of the patterning on the chair of the next to the table. Outside I found a knot in a wooden bench here, which was very nice. This is part of a plant pot, a baskety weave on a plant pot. This, further down my garden, I had a grate and it had letters on it, which I rubbed with a crayon, and I got those letters showing through. There's a basket which I have on the wall, and that's crayon rub there. Brick gives you a nice pattern. So there are endless things outside that you can find. If you have things in the garage, parents, that you might like to have a go at, I had lots of different baskets. Baskets are really good to do crayon rubbings with. All different patterns on the basket. I even found a fly swat. That will give you a pattern. This basket again has several patterns on it. So it has the pattern around the edge, the pattern over the handle, and the pattern down the sides. So you can have a go at different rubbings on the same thing. Things to find in the home. Lots of you will have a step in the bathroom. That gives a really, really good crayon rubbing. That's it there, look. That's it. So all I did for that, I'll show you how to do a crayon rubbing. I just put it on top. Everything might all collapse, but look at that super pattern. Isn't it great? Look, super. Okay. Yeah, I thought things might all topple down. Things have so many things here. So you've lots of things outside, so you can have really good fun looking round and seeing what you can do crayon rubbings with. Sometimes they don't work. I had to go to keyhole on my front door, didn't work at all. And some tree bark things that I thought, oh, that looks good, and I had to go with that. That didn't work. So it's just very hit and miss what you'll find that you can have a go at rubbing. There's a nice basket weave. That was an engraved plant pot that I had in the garden. Even the garden path has a pattern, so you can have a go at rubbing that. If you can't get outside, or you want to do more patterns, then there are lots of things in the home that you can do, and they can be quite fun. I got out my old griddle pan here, and so I will put that on top and I'll show you how to do it. terrible noise, but you can see. And if you took a little bit more care, it comes out a bit nicer. The edge there is the edge of my cake stand. So that's another pattern I found. Here, that's the bottom of the microwave dish. That's the grater that I found there. I did sieve patterns on the bottom of here. I put that down. That's the bottom of that sieve there, if you can see it. So I turned it that way, put it on top and did the crayon rubbing. Had a go with bits of that. It was a bit more difficult when they're round because you have a job to get your paper on, but you'll manage. You can do it with pencil. That's ordinary pencil, and that's ordinary pencil crayons. It's a little bit more difficult. You have to be patient, children. If you're doing it with pencil crayons, all go the same way, with the same with the wax quench. You have to go the same way, the same direction, but you have to be a little bit more patient if you're doing it with pencil crayons. One of the nicest things, and I can't see here, I must have left it in the kitchen, is the grater. I did all different sides of the grater and got all these lovely patterns here. So that was a good one. I used, they're called chubby stumps when you buy them, but some of you might have wax crayons at home. They're especially nice for the little ones. What I want to stress to the children, and are you paying attention, you mustn't work to the edge of your paper, because then you might go over onto something precious and get crayon marks on something that your parents would be cross about, and I don't want your parents to be cross with me. So you have to be very, very careful, children, not to go over the edge of the paper. And parents, if they're very little ones, you might have to watch them doing that, because I say it could be a little bit tricky. At the end, when you've done lots and lots of patterns, you've used lots of computer paper this time, which usually I'm saying, oh dear, if you've only got computer paper, but computer paper is absolutely the best. It's thin, and so your pattern shows through. It's remarkable to me to think that there are so many patterns and textures in the house and in the garden and wherever you are. If you look around, you can see texture and pattern everywhere. At the very end, you have to do something a little bit more tricky. You have to try and make a picture cutting out parts of your patterns. So you get all your computer paper patterns together and you think, what am I going to make? You could do a car like this. You could do a rocket, a dinosaur, a bird of any description. I did a vase of flowers, you see, and that is the centre of that, and then I've cut out all bits and made leaves and flowers. And then you can do something slightly more complicated, the older ones, and try a scene with your cut out pieces of texture and pattern. And I've made a house with a path and a bit of a garden. So let's see what you can make with the patterns that you've rubbed all around the environment. Okay, hope you enjoy it. Children, be careful not to go over the edge or I'll be in trouble. Okay, bye.